After more than 3 decades covering state politics, longtime Capitol reporter Karen DeWitt is retiring. Karen's work through the years has embodied thorough reporting, savvy political insights, and an unwavering dedication to being fair. We sat down with Karen to discuss her contributions to New York politics and her legacy. Thank you so much for joining us today, Karen.
I'm happy to do it.
Now, you've had quite the career covering state politics spanning over 3 decades. Now, before we get into your achievements through the years, I wanted to understand what initially got you interested in covering state politics and what kept you focused on the beat over the last 30 years.
Well, I think like anything, I just kind of fell into it. I moved back to this area after college at SUNY Geneseo, and I actually had an internship at WXXI that got me going. I should mention, because WXXI is a big part of our network, and I just worked at some local news stations. There was an all-news radio station. It was kind of precursor to like what we have for Spectrum News right now, and it was just a good training ground for young people to, run around and cover all kinds of news and different things, be live on the air. And I found that I actually like politics better than, covering fires or crimes or all the other things that you do. Yeah. Mario Cuomo was governor then, and he was a big national figure. You had New York City Mayor Ed Koch, who would come to town occasionally. It was all these like larger-than-life characters going around the state capitol, and I was very intrigued by that. And I thought, well, it's right here, right where I am. And I got in through the back door. There was a stringer job for 1010 Wins, which was a very big all-news station in New York City. So I got the stringer job, and then I just, made my way with magazine articles for Adirondack Life. I worked for Alternative News Weekly, Metroland for years, and I just kind of patched it all together for a few years. And then this public radio network job came about. It only was 2 years old, the network. Someone else started it before me. Had 4 stations, and I was like, okay, I think I have like the skills. I know how to be on the air, but I also know the journalism skills that you get from all those magazine editors, saying, do a little more here, dig in a little more there, or, change this around. And then, I got that job in 1990, and it just sort of grew from there to 10 stations. And then about sometime in the mid-90s, one of the people who worked here, one of my predecessors, Michael Carisse, said, we're starting a weekly reporters roundtable, and you're going to be on it. And at first I was like, no, I'm not going to be on that. I don't want to be on TV. But he sort of pulled me, dragged me, kicking and screaming to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And how would you say the show New York Now impacted your career?
Well, as you probably know, Chantel, from being on TV for a year now, like all of a sudden, everything you say is more important. Like people listen to you more. I'm sure as you go around the Capitol, people look at you and say, oh, I see you from TV. So even though you're the same person doing the same things, it's just a bigger stage. It's also fraught with, all kinds of, being nervous about it and, and like the stakes are higher, but I think it's a good thing. And I really do feel like being on TV did make my career, and being able to be on a reporter's roundtable, give my 2 cents week in and week out, just really made a difference.
And, at the time when you first started in the state politics beat, you were one of very few women reporters in the LCA. So how did that reality impact your career through the years?
Well, actually, there was a group of older women who were there before me, maybe 10 years before me. And I'm really grateful to them because they kind of broke the ice with, the all-male environment. So it was a little bit easier for me. But yeah, there were a lot of times where there'd only be like 2 women reporters, and there were more reporters then. There'd be like maybe 40 men coming in and out, and 2 women. I don't know, I just got kind of used to being in the man's world, the reality, but sometimes it was hard in a big press conference, with the governor speaking in a high-stakes press conference to get your question in. You'd have to really fight, because the men would all be like shouting, competing with one another, and try to just find that little angle and get in. So it was different, but I don't know, I mean, that's what I grew up with. I was kind of more used to the boys' culture, the jokes, the cynicism, the never revealing anything too personal about yourself. I think women will do that more. They'll like spill their guts, which is fun too, but I didn't have that experience probably for the first 20 years that I was there.
Wow. And not a lot of reporters in the LCA can say that they've covered the likes of David Patterson, Mario Cuomo, Andrew Cuomo, Kathy Hochul. So how would you describe the differences in covering each governor?
I know, it's kind of crazy that I've done it for that long. Well, Mario Cuomo, he was just a really great man. And maybe it's because I was younger and knew less. Like, I think I kind of looked up to him. He also talked a lot. He had a lot of news conferences. Like, you can't even imagine now. He would sometimes have 2 a day.
Wow.
They'd be an hour long. And, you'd be sitting there looking at your watch and saying, geez, I got to get going writing my news story. Is this going to end? Which, we have the opposite problem now. We don't.
Right.
We don't.
And would
get
there
to
be
see them.
a gaggle?
Well, a lot of times he would have us into his office and we would just sit around and, he was really good about answering people's questions. But yeah, there'd be lots of gaggles. There was lots of access, but there wasn't the internet then. So they needed us more. I think, modern day, it's been a lot different.
Yeah. And do you have any favorite stories or moments that you've worked on during your time at New York Public Radio?
I think it's the big ones that everybody knows about, right? Going back to Elliot Spitzer having to resign because he was patronizing prostitutes, which was just such a shocker to everyone. That was a very shocking day.
Yeah.
Also, David Patterson being sworn in as the first African-American governor. That was just like a very celebratory day. People were really jubilant. It was really fun. Patterson had a terrible time as governor because the Great Recession hit and it just was very, very difficult. And then, of course, COVID, the lockdown, suddenly being on Governor Andrew Cuomo's reality TV show every day with the briefings. All of a sudden, I had a bit part on this, national, international reality TV show. And at the same time, like at the height of the pandemic, 700 people a day would be dying. So it was just really an intense time. And then, of course, just the next year, Andrew Cuomo imploding. So all of that stuff was just really big dramas to witness, and that's only a few of them. I mean, then there's all the legislative leaders that went to jail or got convicted of corruption. Did the coup, we can't forget the coup where a group of rival senators took over the Senate. We had competing Senate sessions for a month. So just lots of crazy drama. And it made it easy to be a reporter because you had these characters to tell your narrative, tell your stories. So, they've certainly made it easy with all their antics for us, right?
Yeah. Are there any reporting threads that you may not have had the time or opportunity to really dive into in your career that you wish you would have?
I was thinking about that. Some of them currently that are going on, I think is the out-migration in New York State. I never seem to get to that bigger picture, and that's so complicated for so many reasons. You're going to have to do that story.
That's what I have to look forward to. Yeah.
And also, I think the income inequality, that's just a big thing that overshadows things in a way we don't always mention or understand and is causing a lot of the divisions in this society right now. So those are probably just the ones off the top of my head that I can think of.
Yeah. And you're often revered as the dean of the LCA. So what does that title and recognition mean to you?
Well, until recently, I refused to accept that title.
Really?
Because people started kidding that I was the one that was around the longest and maybe the most kind of outgoing person. I like to not mentor younger reporters, but at least talk to them, try to be their friend, see where they're at and everything. Yeah. And so for a while there, I was saying, no, I'm not the dean. I don't want to be the dean. And then I thought, I think women often reject titles in a way that men don't. And I thought, no, I can be the dean. I'm sure like many men before me were fine. If someone called them the dean, they'd be like, yeah, that's right, I'm the dean. So I was like, yeah, okay, I am the dean. I will take it. I will accept that title.
Awesome. And what advice would you give to the next generation of reporters covering state politics?
Well, I think that you have to want to do it more than you want to do anything else in your life. Otherwise, it's just going to be too hard. And you're going to get frustrated because there's so many obstacles and frustrations. I think you're going to have a lot of different jobs. You're not going to have one job for 30 years like I did. I don't see that happening. And I think you're going to have to go over to what we used to call the dark side, which is, being in PR or, being a spokesperson for a politician. And it's easier to go back and forth. And my advice would be every time you do that, make sure you up your salary. Like use that as a negotiation because these are generally, not paid as well as the people are worth. But yeah, it's going to be tough, but like hopefully journalism is going to survive in some certain core way. That's my hope.
And what legacy are you hoping to have in the LCA and in the larger New York State political beat? How are you hoping that you'll be remembered?
That's so hard to answer because I didn't even know I had a legacy until this whole retirement things happened and people been saying those kind of things. I'm like, really? I just feel like I just went to work every day, came on this show every week and just tried to do my best. But I guess I would say, being fair, because I tried to develop a reputation for fairness, and people would say, yeah, you're a really fair reporter, and that would reinforce it. I'd go into an interview thinking, I don't like this person, or I feel this way about this, and I'm like, remember, you're the fair reporter. You have to be fair. Yeah. So I guess, just try to uphold, the values of journalism, because I feel like they're really important for democracy.
Well, we at New York Now thank you for your contributions to the show and for your dedication to New York State politics. We wish you the absolute best in your well-deserved retirement. Thank you so much for taking the time to connect with us today, Karen.
Well, thank you, and good luck to you, because you are the next generation now to take the show and, fly with it.
Thank you so much. And we were speaking with Karen DeWitt, longtime Capitol Bureau Chief for the New York Public News Network. As we underscored in that conversation, Karen's contributions to the New York Now show have been invaluable through the years. For more information on the career and legacy of Karen DeWitt, you can visit our website. Again, that's at nynow.org.